Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Trends on Local 3. I'm Latrice Currie. Coming up on today's show, during the colder months, staying active can be a challenge. A personal trainer shows us some things you can do right now in your home. Plus, a young woman diagnosed with invasive breast cancer is now helping other women keep more of their dignity and self-confidence as they go through treatment. Learn about CAP and KEEP. A local author has released a new book to help children of all abilities learn more about how to live, play, and learn together. And see how one group of women has made it their mission to uplift and encourage other women on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Find out about sisters elevating sisters. Trends on Local 3 starts now.
This is Trends on Local 3.
Staying active during the cold weather, healthy holiday sleep, all of that is so important. And you ask yourself, how do I stay healthy in these frigid temperatures when people don't want to get outside? Because then people become unmotivated and they say, I'm just going to sit on the couch. Well, right now, I am so glad to have these two ladies here with me talking about it. We have Marissa Bell from the Hamilton YMCA, Family YMCA, and also Allie Fincher, who is a personal trainer. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, so let's talk about this because, of course, you're talking about the YMCA and all of our branches here in the area. But let's start by talking about one of the things is when it's too cold and it's like you say, is it really safe to get outside? Let's start with that tip first. Now, this morning, like on Monday, I did not go outside, but this morning I did get outside. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you know when it's too cold or too dangerous and what you should do?
Well, I mean, if it's too cold, I mean, you certainly, can do certain exercises indoors that you just to keep yourself moving. Don't hibernate. I mean, just get up, get moving. If you do want to go outside and it's really cold, I mean, definitely layer up and make sure you have proper footwear if you're going on a walk or for a run.
Talk about that proper footwear.
Proper footwear. I mean, you don't want to go out in heels. You don't want to go out in open-toed shoes, right? Yeah. So something that has a sturdy base, something that is, covers your entire foot. Good socks, and and so you want to make sure that you are out there prepared if you're going to be out in the cold weather. Okay,
that's so important. And one of the other things you're talking about, because you kind of talked about this, is when it talked about layering up, and it's so important. Now, there was something also I think you said about making sure you don't overlayer. Or this, how do you, making sure you're properly layered? Like say for instance, I put on the hat to make sure like my ears are covered or things like that, and the gloves.
Sure, you want to make sure your extremities are covered, your torso. So if your layers can start with just a base layer, even a tank top, long sleeve, thin shirt, and then put a heavier, like maybe even a coat, something a little bit heavier that you can always take off, maybe tie around the waist if it gets a little warm. Because once you start getting that blood moving, you get to moving, How
many times have I done that? I started off with that heavy coat and then halfway through I'm like, I need to tie this around my waist.
Exactly.
I'm getting warm.
Yes.
I'm getting
but keep
warm.
those extremities covered. The ears, the head, the hands.
And that's so important. And then one of the things too is we just continue to talk about the tips for of being healthy this holiday season and getting out and making sure people keep moving.
Right, exactly. And and it doesn't have to be a daunting long workout. I mean, if you are stuck indoors, I mean, look at breaking it up into maybe mini workouts or just all your daily activities that you're doing. If you're vacuuming, make it a lunge.
Yeah. If you put a little bit extra
into it. Right. If you if you want to sit down and enjoy a holiday movie, you can use a couch and you can actually sit and then stand back up. Make it a squat. Okay. Turn it into a little bit of active
So
movement.
While you're watching that movie, maybe do that, count yourself, maybe count 5 or 10 minutes.
Sure, 5 or 10 minutes, break it up. And, and if that's not really for you, one thing that always motivates me is meeting up with somebody. Make it social. Find a friend that will either meet up with you, take a class, at your local Y. You can take a class together. You could maybe get together at home, and there's plenty of videos online, even if you wanted to try something new, yoga, maybe Pilates. I mean, there's lots of different options out there that are classes or just guided workouts that you don't necessarily have to come up with it on your own.
And also kind of that accountability, I think, with a partner, right?
Absolutely. Accountability is motivation.
Yes. And let's go ahead, and you had some exercises you wanted to show, like if you're a chair or something like that.
Well, yes, and that was kind of what I was demonstrating a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be a full-on, squat, but, using things around the house. You don't have to have equipment, gym equipment. I mean, you can, again, if you've got a couch or a chair at home, you can absolutely just, sit to stand. You're still engaging all the lower body muscles, keeping that chest up as you sit back, sit down, and then stand back up. That's a really great, compound movement for your lower body. Another that is, sometimes lunges might not be the easiest for people, so again, for lunges, this movement right here can be a little bit challenging for some with maybe if you have bad knees or it's just not comfortable for you. But if you've got like a step stool at home, step up on that step and then step back down. And those are
just kind of step up and step back.
Yep, just put your foot up on that step and step up and then step down. If you've got stairs in your home, come to that bottom step up and then back. Okay. If you have anybody has counter space in their kitchen, you can actually do push-ups right on your counter. Right? So just your hands come outside your chest, chest comes over that countertop and just lower and then press yourself back up. Yeah. So lots of movement options and opportunities that you can take advantage of without, a whole lot of equipment.
All right, this is really some good advice. It's just talking about, Marissa, the importance of, like, a lot of times people say, oh, we gained so much weight during the winter time, and because we're just sedentary, but don't sit still.
Yeah, this is a great time to maybe try a new routine. So if you are looking to work with someone, we do have a good welcoming environment at the Y. You can hear how knowledgeable that Allie is. She, is a personal trainer, and so this is a great time. We actually have a package of 10 sessions, 10 personal training sessions, and you get those 2 extra free. So you have that accountability working with the trainer and the community at the Y.
And I'll just give you a plug and a shout out, having worked with Kathy for so long, that is accountability, because she would keep me on my toes. But that is so important. Ladies, thank you all so much, and thank you for all that the Y does in this community. And there's the information, their website, their phone number to get more information. Well, a local woman diagnosed with breast cancer turned her difficult situation into a way to help other women keep their self-confidence during treatment. Well, breast cancer doesn't just happen to older women. With a mission to help others diagnosed with cancer and protect themselves and their dignity, Addie Looper started Cap and Keep, cold capping, and she joins me now. First of all, welcome, Addie.
Hi, well, thank you so much for having me this morning.
Well, I'm so glad to have you. This is very interesting. When someone passed this information along to me and they said, Latrice, have you ever heard about this? And I said, no. So first of all, explain to us, what is cold capping?
So cold capping is a drug-free, non-invasive way to keep your hair during chemotherapy. What it is it's a cap, kind of like a helmet that goes on your head with cold gel, an hour before chemo, during chemotherapy, and then 2 to 4 hours after chemo. And what it does is it constricts the blood flow to your scalp, and then helps the hair follicles not fall out so it doesn't burn off.
Right, so basically keeps that hair stronger there so that it maintains your hair.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing it right now on the screen, Addie, talking about like that kind of like helmet that you put on. So do you put this on during the entire time that you're undergoing chemo for women, like for every appointment or every other, or just how does that work?
Yes, ma'am. So so it's every single chemo session. So I did 4 rounds of chemotherapy. So I did it every single round, every 3 weeks, and I did it the hour before, during, and the 2 to 4 hours after, and it's just keeping that hair cold so the chemo does not burn that hair off.
And I want to talk about that because Addie, at the time I think you were diagnosed, you were 21, correct?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay,
yes.
And people usually don't think of a 21-year-old being diagnosed with breast cancer. First of all, let's start by talking about your journey, Addie, and how you found out.
So I was diagnosed about the same time last year at just 21 years old. with stage 1 invasive ductal carcinoma breast cancer. It was very aggressive and it was hormone fed. And I then immediately started IVF treatments after that to freeze my eggs. I had a double mastectomy in October, started chemo and had my 4 rounds from November to January and rang the bell in January.
Yeah.
So really good. And I'm now on hormone blockers for 5 years, so medically induced menopause, which is really weird at 22.
I was going to say, oh my goodness, yes, that is. That's another.
So yeah, and I ended up doing cold capping and kept more than 80% of my hair. And I really want to do that for other women and people and know that that is real and you can keep your hair and it works and it's a real thing.
So first of all, let me just tell you this. If you can beat invasive breast cancer at 21 years old, you can deal with the menopause.
Yes.
You'll get through.
Yes.
Just fan yourself and keep some water.
Keep the fans.
Keep the fans,
on you.
Addie. Keep the fans. You know, one of the things in talking about this, did you have a history of breast cancer in your family, Addie?
No, ma'am. So
No
it was
history?
non-genetic. Yes, ma'am. So it's just really random, out of the blue, just kind of happened. I found a lump one morning and went and got it checked, and yeah.
So again, the importance you would stress to anyone, do those self-breast exams and get
Yes,
checked.
ma'am.
Because you weren't at the age where you would get a mammogram.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yeah.
so I think that's a very important message for young women like yourself, especially at 20, 21 years old. Do those self-breast exams, and if you feel anything unusual, immediately get to your
Yes.
doctor. Now, I want to kind of wrap this up by talking about how this led you to start your company.
So like I said, I did cold capping myself, kept 80% of my hair. It really helped me keep a sense of normalcy and control in my life when I didn't have any of that. My biggest fear, clearly being 21, was losing my hair.
Yes.
So I was very determined to not let that happen. So I found cold capping, did that, and now I want to do that for other people, like I said, and really share and show. It's very a new thing, so very much a new thing, and telling people about it and making sure people know about it, and it is real and it can work and it does work.
Because how did it make you feel when you saw that your hair and you said, okay, this is my sense of normalcy. I can't control some of the other things going on, but I can control this.
It really helped me feel more confident, as well as letting cancer and chemo not take everything from me, because that's how it really felt. It was taking everything, and I had no control over anything. So that was the one thing that I knew it couldn't take from me. So.
Wow. Well, I just want to say, first of all, I'm so proud of you that you have rung that bell,
Thank
Addie.
you.
And at 21, I cannot imagine being diagnosed with invasive breast cancer. And for you then to take that and start this company and to help others. And by the way, you look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to put Addie's information up there on the screen. A beautiful and amazing young lady there. Well, the latest from a local author shows kids of all abilities have more in common than they might think, how to live and how to play together. Well, a local author continues the adventures of one little boy from Junior's new boots to Junior and Friends. So glad to have Odell Tiller with me now on his latest book. And hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I am great. And so let's talk about, first of all, we'll remind people, you wrote this first one about Junior's new boots, and it was about a little boy. His father worked, in a job where he wore these boots and went to work every day. And Junior wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
That's correct. The first book was about family unity and a little boy dreaming to be like his father.
And I think one of the things also that was important about that we got out of that first one that teaches children and teaches families, if no matter what your parents do, if they have an honest, hardworking, and they're hardworking, then that is to be respected and admired. And that's what Junior did. His dad got up every day and went to work, and his mom, and again about that family, the importance of family, and just parents being role models for their children. So I thought that was just a really good theme in that book. Now we're moving to this other book, Junior's and friends. So tell us about Junior in this book and who Junior is in this book, because this is a different Junior.
Correct. Junior in this book, it's about a little boy that was born without the use of his legs. I always dreamed of playing outside with his brothers and sisters and his neighbor and the neighbors, community friends. He met more friends when he started school, and his friends, you'll find in the book, have disabilities themselves, and they have dreams and aspiration of one day becoming involved in their community and a professional in what they do. So.
And I think one of the things, and we're just kind of running and going to run some of this because you also sent us some video too that we can show as well. But one of the things too is when we start talking about Junior and his friends, I think it really is that important lesson of, again, about people of all abilities. And just because people have different ability levels, it doesn't make them any different. And so I think this is really important because this is a 5-year-old and who is starting school. And for kids who go to school and have these different ability levels, and for those who don't, they can see that their friends in their schools and their classes are just like them.
Exactly. It teaches, I hope that the kids that read the book will get from the book that children with disabilities no different than they are. They have the same inspirations, the same dreams. They love to be active with other kids, playing and studying and learning together. Matter of fact, in this book you'll find some pages with the American Sign Language Alphabet Center. So I hope that they'll learn from that, and it will inspire them to learn more about speaking with their hands.
Well, and that's so important because I grew up, and right up the street, one of my good friends, a family, and there were 5 children in the family, and both parents were deaf and what we call deaf and dumb. So they used sign and did not hear or speak. And so, you know, one of the things you go up there, and I remember just kind of over the years learning to communicate with their parents. And it was just another normal home. We would go up there, I would have dinner with them, and you know, nothing was different. It was just like going back down to my house, except for you had to talk to their parents in a different manner. And so just kind of learning some of those basic things, you know, to say thank you, to say hello to their parents. But I love that. I love that because all of this is important, and it's about inclusiveness and being inclusive and treating others the same and with the same amount of respect and dignity.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. To be included is very important, excuse me, to everyone, whether you have a disability or not. You want to be included in the things that interest you. So you're absolutely right.
Well, that is so important. And again, one of the things in looking at this book, we'll just remind people that we'll put your book up, and we know that you can order it on Amazon as well. But also, you don't have to go to Amazon and order. You can get it right here in the city, and tell people where they can get it here.
You can buy the book at EDU, Children Supply Store on East 3rd Street.
The EDU.
The EDU, yes, at 2115 East 3rd Street.
Okay, 2115 East 3rd Street, and then EDU supply store, educational supply store there. And they have lots of great things, and you could also now find your book in that store right there on East 3rd Street. Well, a nonprofit has the mission of uplifting and encouraging other women. It is Sisters Elevating Sisters. Their goal is to empower and uplift women. I am joined by Shanice Craddock and Dr. Ro Moss from Sisters Elevating Sisters. Ladies, it's a pleasure to have you all here.
Thank you.
I attended one of your conferences this year, a wellness symposium for women. Talk about, first of all, Shanice, your dream, how this got started, your vision.
Well, it was Sisters Elevated Sisters was established in 2019, and it was inspired by a personal journey of betrayal. And I was left with 2 choices, either retaliate or elevate, and I chose elevation. And we just got together and started elevating women across the state of Tennessee, and we've just been elevating ever since.
That is awesome. I love that vision. Like, you know, you said your choices and you said, let's elevate, let's turn this into something positive.
Right.
That's what I like about this. And so, Ro, tell me about, you know, this. So you all started bringing together these events like the Women's Symposium. Talk about that, because it was a mixture of like health information, I mean, really good interactive health information where we were glued and locked in, and just also good, just the spirit there, the motivation, the atmosphere there.
Yes, so we elevate on mind, body, and spirit. And so the Women Wellness Symposium was about bringing women together, talking about health, talking about how we can come together and just model those good behaviors, the uplifting, the elevation behaviors. We wanted to pour into them from the education standpoint, because we sometimes don't get information, but when we're in a group of women all together, we can kind of come together and bond over what we've been through. Like we talked about perimenopausal, HIV awareness, mental health, things like that were very important. So we kind of focused on like 3 topics every symposium, and we focus on that to get that to our membership.
Okay, and we have some of those pictures that we'll put up while you all are talking. And just a little bit about what were some of the challenges that you faced, you know, growing, getting women to buy into this, Shanice, that this could actually work?
It was, well, first of all, we had to go in, we partner with churches. We partner with churches, we partner with schools, and we just came together as a group. We are working on the board right now, and we just came together and we shared ideas. We had like workshop to share ideas and just to push it out.
And talk about now you all's membership and the women, just kind of the diversity of your membership from churches all throughout the area.
Yeah, I say membership we have women as young as 18 all the way to 88 years old.
Just the gamut, spanning the gamut.
Yes, and we support each other as far as being a mentor from every level, from the middle class, the middle age women to the younger women. So it's something that we wanted to bring everybody together so we can all come together and just feed off each other, be each other's little nieces and aunties, and just kind of grow and share. Yes.
And so we have 1 minute left, and just kind of really quickly, if people want more information about Sisters Elevating Sisters, how can they get that information?
We have, we're on Facebook, we're Sisters Elevating Sisters. We're also on Instagram, and our email is info@sisterselevating.sisters.org, and our website is sisterselevating.sisters.org.
That's all the time for this edition of Trends on Local 3. If you're interested in being guests, contact me at trends@local3news.com, and make sure you follow me on social media.